So hopefully you're able to start to understand the sound of the major pentatonic scale. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at the parent harmony that comes out of the tonality shapes for C major. What am I talking about? Well, every melodic idea has a related harmonic sonority or sound. So the sonority that's associated with the major pentatonic is the major triad. So in this lesson, we're going to take a look at playing the major triad both in its harmonic form as a chord and in its melodic form as an arpeggio. So we're going to begin down here in first/open position again for C. And we're going to take a look at 4 different chords that come out of this position. So I've got my root position C major chord, C major triad, which is just going to be the 3 notes of the triad. My first inversion triad, which has the 3rd of the chord as the bottom note. My second inversion triad, which is going to have the 5th of the chord as the bottom note. And then the full C chord, which is one of the first ones that we all learn. Now, let's hear that in relationship to the arpeggio that's associated with that, the C major triad arpeggio. We're going to do it the same way as we did with the major pentatonic scale, first doing it tonic to tonic, and then all the notes within that position resolving back to the tonic C. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Now all in the position, 3, 4. Now let's move up to second position. In second position, we're going to take a look at 3 different triads that are coming out of that. When I say second position, it's really second kind of third position, but this basic area of the neck. Still coming out of this tonality shape. I have my root position, C major triad. I have my first inversion, C major triad. And I have my second inversion, C major triad. And here's the arpeggio that's associated with that. First, within the tonality shape itself. 2, 3, 4. Then all in that position. Now we're going to move up to 5th position. Here's the tonality shape. Here's my root position, C major triad. Here's my first inversion, C major triad. And here's my second inversion, C major triad. Now here's the arpeggio that exists in 5th position for C major. 2, 3, 4. Now fortunately in this position, those are all the notes that exist. There isn't anything outside of that tonality shape. So we covered them all using that one fingering. Now let's go up to the 7th/8th position coming out of this tonality shape. Here's going to be my root position, C major triad. Here is my first inversion, C major triad. And here's my second inversion, C major triad. And here, of course, is the full bar chord, which is in root position. Now let's play the C major triad arpeggio in 7th position. 2, 3, 4. And again, with this fingering, all of the notes are included within that one position. So there's nothing else that lies outside of that tonality shape. So now we're going to move into 10th position. Here's the tonality shape for 10th position. And here's my root position, C major triad. Here is my first inversion C major triad. And here is my second inversion C major triad. Now we're going to play the C major triad arpeggio in 10th position. Remember that we're going to use the shift when we get ready to play this as well. 2, 3, 4. And here it is with all the notes in that position. 2, 3, 4. So now that we've gone through all of the fingerings for the C major triad and for the C major triad arpeggio coming out of the 5 tonality shapes, we have all the information we need to not only play in other keys, but to continue up the neck, which is what we're going to do right here. So the fingering that we played in the tonality shape that we played in 1st/open position gets transposed up here to 12th position. And we have our C major triad in root position, followed by our C major triad in 1st inversion, and our C major triad in 2nd inversion. And then if I wanted to play the full chord, it would be. And here's the C major triad arpeggio played in 12th position, going within the tonality shape itself. 2, 3, 4. And here's all the notes in that position coming out of the same tonality shape. 2, 3, 4. Now we'll move up to 14th position coming out of this tonality shape, which was the same one that we saw in 2nd position. So our major triad here in root position would be that. Our 1st inversion would be like this. And our 2nd inversion would be like this. So the C major triad arpeggio within the tonality shape itself would sound like this. 2, 3, 4. And here it is with all the notes in that position. 2, 3, 4. We're going to continue up to 17th position, and we're going to come out of the tonality shape that we saw originally in 5th position, which is this. So our C major triad in root position would be that. In 1st inversion would be that. And in 2nd inversion would be this. And we remember from before that the major triad arpeggio that we played coming out of this tonality shape has all the notes, so we only have to learn this one. Here we go with the C major triad arpeggio in 17th position. 2, 3, 4. And that's it. Those are the triads and the arpeggios that exist coming out of each of the tonality shapes. Now, while we continued all the way up past the 12th fret, remember that there were really only 5 different shapes that we were coming out of. The one here in 1st position, the one here in 2nd position, the one in 5th, the one in 7th, and then the one in 10th. So once we can start to memorize those fingerings, that's going to be the key to unlocking the fingerboard. So try to practice these arpeggios, consult those PDFs that have them all laid out for you, and then come join me in the next lesson where we're going to combine the major pentatonic along with the arpeggio and the chord.